Hey folks, this is just an opinion. Welcome back to the Armory Life. And speaking of opinions, how many times have you heard the debate or the argument or the conversation that small, micro-compact carry guns are not as accurate? Well, I've given a little thought to that, and maybe you have too, but I thought I would come out today to the range and put that concept to the test. Can a very tiny concealed pistol like this Hellcat be as accurate and as shootable as this full-sized and then some 5¼ inch XDM? One of the main points people will use to bolster their argument in favor of the large handgun being more accurate is the sight radius and the barrel length. Well, those two things really go hand in hand. And those things, I am not going to argue, do contribute to better shooting by the shooter. But does that mean that this gun is inherently more accurate than this one? All right, so I'm going to load 5 rounds each of American Eagle 124 grain ball ammo into the XDM 5¼ and the little Hellcat. When we talk about self-defense, we typically talk about a distance of 7 yards. That has become sort of the industry standard at 21 feet. However, just to make things a little bit more sporting, I've backed my target out to 10 yards. How they perform. All right, I think the XDM did what XDMs do, and that's made a nice group. But let's see now how I can do same distance, same target, the other dot with the little Hellcat. All right, so with the XDM, it looks like we put at least a couple right there, maybe 3. I see one flyer that went down low, and hopefully that's 3 shots right there. And if so, that's a darn nice group, and I'm pretty proud of that. When we move over to look at the Hellcat, and we can clearly see all 5 shots. They almost look like the 5 of a domino. All right, let's shoot these 5 a little bit faster. And again, I'll start with the XDM. Hellcat. So it looks like the group moved a little bit down to the lower left, which is typical for a right-handed shooter shooting at a faster pace. Same thing happened with the XDM. But in both cases, those are pretty respectable groups, and if I had to defend myself with either one of these guns, I'd feel pretty confident in doing so. Okay, one of the key other reasons that we always say the big guns are more shootable is because they are better at handling recoil. I have a hypothesis that that has more to do with the shooter and your ability to grip the pistol properly for its size and for your style of shooting. All right, let's look at this gun from both angles, from the front and from a profile while I'm shooting it, and let's see how much muzzle flip there is for the XDM. Okay, 5 rounds at just a leisurely cadence. Now, the same thing with the Hellcat. It does feel like the Hellcat jumps a little bit more. It does feel like there's a little bit more muzzle lift. And again, physics are physics, but not by any means uncontrollable. And it seemed like that front sight came back down on target just about as fast as it did with the bigger gun. Partially to see if shooting faster makes a difference in how well I can manage the recoil, and partially because, you know, all work and no play makes Justin a dull boy. That's going to be hard to beat. That's pretty flat. Hellcat. So my perception, standing behind the sights on this gun, were the gun itself climbed a little higher while I was shooting it fast, but it stayed level. To take me out of the equation a little bit, I've got a good rest, and I'm going to set up a target at 25 yards downrange, and let's see how each one of these guns can do when I really try. The Springfield XDM, 5¼ inch. Almost completely without argument, a very accurate gun, and one that's easy to shoot at distance. So let's see how it does. Okay, now let's try the diminutive Hellcat. Same distance. So this wasn't scientific by any means, but I think it was a pretty fair comparison. I think it was a good way to analyze the differences between a large, long-barreled gun like the XDM 5.25 and a tiny self-defense carry gun like this Hellcat. And I think what I demonstrated to myself, possibly to you, is that it really doesn't make as much difference as we've been told.